Morning guys, up and at 'em, Friday morning, nice and sunny out here. I just walked past all the mowers. I was just getting them off the truck and I'm normally in the midst of it and they're normally all around me and making a load of noise. Actually I can hear one coming up behind me, so maybe I spoke too soon. So you may get a mower sound in a minute. But hope everybody's having a decent start to their day. Start of the weekend, going forward, things planned. Positive things, get some reading done, get some self-help done on yourself, and just be positive, be present. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, those things that are said to us that we grip hold of, and we become reactive to it. The only way we can be reactive to things that people say is if we connect. Don't connect, and you ain't got to worry about the words said. Morning.
Morning.
You ain't got to worry about the words said. And let's look at what words are. They're basically a vibration that's coming through the air to you. Vibration in someone's voice that travels, gets picked up by your ears, and your ears converts that into words. And how do you find out what those words mean or what those vibrations mean? Well, that comes from programming. Always programming. It comes from somebody making the sound, the vibration, and then saying, oh, that's what this means. That's why when you're reading and all of a sudden you come up against something you're not quite sure of. Morning. That you're not quite sure of, and you look at it, your brain can't compute it because it's not seen it before, or it hasn't heard it before, hasn't heard the vibration. So when you're sitting there in school and you're listening to a tutor or parents or whoever that is that starts to teach us how to read, they're pointing to basically a bunch of shapes on a page and putting a vibration to it with their mouth. So what do I mean a bunch of shapes? Well, if you look at what words are, isn't it a bunch of lines joined together that makes a shape? If you look at all the different letters, they're just a bunch of lines, right? That's all joined together, makes a shape, and then that shape has a vibration put to it so that we hear the letter, the sound. So now we can put those sounds together and make our words. But the only way those words get to us is by vibration, frequency. They travel. Just like any sound. It's got to travel to your ears to be picked up and converted. That's why when you hear someone that you're not understanding, they're speaking a different language, and you're not quite understanding that, reason for that is because you don't know the vibration. That's it. That's how we learn things. That's how we learn a language. You start to see the word that we know in English or whatever language you speak. And then what we do is we look at the other word that we're trying to learn in a different language and picking up that vibration. Morning. And picking up that vibration. And then learning a different vibration for basically different shapes that we see written down on a piece of paper. That's all. That's what words are. They're just vibrations put together so that we make a word out of it. So, how do we grip onto something like that and basically have a reaction to it? Well, the only way we're reacting is if we're making some either truth out of it, or we feel that way, or there could be a trigger from somewhere. That vibration, that's all it is. It's just words, that's all. And words have that vibration, and that's what we're picking up on. But we're listening to the meaning, obviously, of the vibration, and then we're taking that and reacting to it. So if someone's being highly critical, by the way, criticism isn't a bad thing, because you can always take something from it. I remember watching a program with Gordon Ramsay, cooking program with Gordon Ramsay, and he was he walked into a restaurant, and he said, "I want your comments book." And they said, "Oh, it's nothing but good comments." He said, "It's not the good comments I'm worried about. I want the bad comments, because how do you know to improve?" Makes sense. We always want the good comments. We're always looking for the good words, right? Because that's what makes us feel good. Makes us feel good when we hear good words. But what about the negatives? What do we do with them? What do we do with them? And the best thing to do is put space. Put space between you and whoever's you're connecting to, whoever's words you're connecting to, and just have the thought in mind it's just vibrations, and then disconnect. One of the best arguments I had with my wife, this is kind of funny. One of the best arguments I had was standing in the kitchen, and I don't know what she was mad about, but she got kind of mad. Morning. And I'm standing there. Let me turn this around. I'm standing there, and instead of hearing the vibrations of the words, I turned it into sounds of music. So I tuned into like the pitch, the sound itself, where it was coming from, how loud it was, the vibration of it. So I tuned into that instead of the actual words themselves and the meaning of the words themselves. And I actually started laughing because it was kind of funny. It's kind of comical. It was like watching one of those. it was like watching one of those movies where their lips kind of catch up to the words, but it's not really making any sense. And so there I was looking at my wife. Good morning. There I was looking at my wife, and I'm just listening to music basically. Start laughing. She gets angry. What you laughing at? And I told her, I said, you sound like music. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I explained it all to her. I wasn't connecting. I wasn't connecting to the words. I was connecting to the sound and not making meaning out of any of it. So I didn't connect. I wasn't angry. Didn't bother me. Nothing. I had nothing. She was angry. But with that, once she heard me say what I said, she started laughing, and that was the end of the argument. Argument done. Because now we're both on a higher vibration. We're on a higher frequency because we're not allowing that to get to us, right? So if you allow words to get to you, or you connect to the words, it's gonna pull you down. It's gonna lower your frequency and vibration. If someone comes up to you and calls you an asshole, you really think you're an asshole? Because that's the only way you're going to connect with it. If you think you're an asshole, yeah, and someone says you're an asshole, then you're going to connect with it because you don't want to be an asshole, but you're thinking that you are. So the only way you connect with it is believe it, right? If you believe in the vibration or the sound that you're hearing and the meaning of it, yeah, you're going to connect. Now that changes you. Now you're reacting. That changes your frequency, your vibration, sends you in the negative. So don't connect to the actual word and the meaning of the word. Disconnect from it. If someone's really having a go and someone's having a problem with you, yeah, you're going to hear it, but the only way you can have a problem is if you connect. So remember what sound is and where it comes from and what words are. It's just a bunch of lines that's joined together that we get taught a vibration to, and then those vibrations are put together to make a sound, and then we're told what those sounds are by words. Think about that. We don't think about those things, but that's really all it is. And by the way, there ain't that many letters. that make up how many words? Right? So all it is a bunch of those individual little lines all joined together that's basically making up individual sounds, and we make up a shit ton of damn words out of it. It's like having the colour spectrum, right? How many colours can you make out of basic colours? Same with words, right? It's only made up of not a very large amount of letters in the English alphabet, right? But look how many words. Look at a dictionary and look how many words are in there. I wonder how many words are in the dictionary. I've never really thought about that. Quite a few, right? So next time you start being aware that you're connecting to the words that are said to you, pause. Why am I connecting to that? Is this making sense? Am I connecting to the vibration of this in a meaningful way? Does this make sense? Am I believing it? And like I said, if someone comes up, calls you an arsehole, and you believe it, and you're defending it, and you're saying, no, you're not. Why? Why are you doing that? Are you? Just blow it off. You know you ain't. So why is it affecting you? No point in connecting to the actual words, guys. Whenever something's like going a little bit pear-shaped, so to speak, and you feel that you're getting put down or criticised, just put space. Put space. Tune into the vibration of it. Tune into the frequency of it. Because, you know, a few words can really ruin your day. It could make your day too, but it can really ruin your day. It don't take much for a few words, for you to connect with a few words, and then that's going to bring down your frequency, can start putting you into anxiety and depression, mental health basically, and then you've got to dig your way out of that. So put space in the beginning and look at it for what it is. Stay the course, guys. Namaste.